I don't know who guys is yet, but this is my first time doing this and I feel kind of silly right now. I decided just a few minutes ago that I'm going to start a vlog. I'm going to get down with the vloggers, but I'm not doing this for anybody else. I'm not doing this to try to get popular on social media. I'm doing this for myself because I recently made a big decision, and I want to kind of track that because in my research, which I hyper focus on stuff of coming to this decision, I watched a lot of other people's vlogs, and I just think that the most fascinating part was seeing their progress, and I want that for myself. So whether I ever get another listener or not, we'll find out. My name's Jessica. I just turned 40. I have 2 kids, been married 15 years, just celebrated on January 1st, New Year's Day, which was, 2 days ago now. And I recently made the decision, and by the way, let me just say that I now understand why people do these videos while doing makeup or whatever else, because I have time right now, you know, in between our busy schedules. This is kind of my downtime and my talk time. Once the makeup's on, it's go, go, go. I'm gonna be out the door doing everything a mom does. I also work full time. I'm on break right now though. I'm a preschool teacher and we're on Christmas break. So I go back on Monday. But anyway, I have a little bit of a surgical history. My 2 C-sections, a hysterectomy, and be due to some issues. It wasn't just because. And I'm going to get to the point, after years of decision making on this, I decided to have a weight loss surgery, gastric bypass. And I spent my whole break so far binging information. So binging YouTube videos, binging support groups on Facebook and stuff like that. I actually found some people, I wouldn't say local, but that live in my state, not too far from me, which was a godsend because I got led into a different direction than the surgeon I was going to use originally, which ended up being a very bad experience. And so now I found a really, really great practice in Orlando where they solely focus on weight loss surgery. And the difference between this surgeon and the first surgeon is that the first surgeon did a very, very quick phone consultation with me, and basically without any information or education on my part, and I didn't know a lot yet at this point, kind of convinced me that we could slam the surgery in, and I say slam because it's what it felt like, over my Christmas break from work. And thank God things did not work out that way with his office staff. I had a bad experience with his office staff. They were kind of rude, and well, the person I was supposed to speak to, his coordinator, was kind of condescending, I guess. He told me to contact her the very next day after our phone conversation, which our phone conversation was on a Wednesday, just a couple days before my break. And I was supposed to contact her the next day, and I couldn't get in touch with her. And I called back multiple times. Either she wasn't available, she was out one day, she'd call me back, she'd call me back, she'd call me back. And eventually I had to tell them, if I don't talk to this coordinator, I'm going to find a new surgeon. Lo and behold, I finally get a call back that day, of course, you know, fashionably late, a couple hours after, and talked to this coordinator for the first time, one day shy of 2 weeks after talking to this surgeon who wanted to talk me into doing this surgery, or made it seem possible to do this surgery. during that next week or so on my break. Anyways, I'm glad that I didn't, because there was still so much I did not know. And he didn't give me a choice in anything. He said, I'll authorize the sleeve for you, blah, blah, blah. Didn't give me any information on the diet requirements or anything that I might. We did go over my medical history very briefly, but there's stuff I didn't know that, are kind of important in this decision, like acid reflux history, which I've had. I haven't been diagnosed, but, I think that's important. I've learned in deciding between the two surgeries. I've had a doctor, a PCP, think that I have a hernia up here, which I'm guessing would be that hiatal hernia, but it's not been verified yet through any testing. But again, that makes a difference in which surgery they recommend for you between the sleeve and the bypass, because I guess, the sleeve can cause GERD. I don't know if I say these things right. I'm sorry. I know what these things are, but I'm new to speaking about them. So, but the acid reflux disease, sorry guys, I'm just rushing my makeup today because I don't know. I want to get out and be productive today. I only have 2 days left off. So anyway, I think there's some things that are kind of important that he didn't even ask and was just ready to slam in the sleeve surgery, blah, blah, blah. Since I had so much extra time to research, since his coordinator decided not to contact me back because she said she was waiting on this, that, and the other with the benefit that I'm using, which is an excellent benefit called Lantern that my work provides, and I don't have to pay for this surgery. But apparently there are some requirements. I don't think they're as big as she was making it out to be, according to the new place I'm talking to. But anyways, bottom line is the girl should have called me and communicated and coordinated this stuff so I knew what I was waiting for, and wasn't just hustling on my end trying to get these medical clearances and all this stuff scheduled and done while they were probably sitting back laughing at me and how enthusiastic I was being. In the long run, she basically told me that, we are surgeons just overly enthusiastic. But she said, I'm the one who coordinates this stuff. He doesn't know I'm the one who does this stuff. Okay, well, I get that there's stipulations, but you need to communicate with your patients so that they also know the red tape and stipulations. Anyway, I know I'm rambling. I am rambling. I just obviously had a pretty negative experience. And I just feel like sometimes things are a God thing, sometimes God, and my husband and I talked about this. Sometimes I feel like God puts obstacles in your path. Although I was really bummed out at the beginning of this break to the point where I think I spent a day in bed crying just because they, got my hopes up and then ignored me and almost made me feel like I was trying to be bougie or something, like trying to get ahead of everybody else or something, when it was their surgeon that was encouraging me to do this. So it was a really strange experience. But anyway, I'm sorry, I have a little congestion left over, congestion left over from a cold I had a little bit ago. But anyways, so God led me to finding a post from somebody online on one of those groups I was in. Actually wasn't even in the group. I did a search and typed in keywords: weight loss surgery, Lantern, which is the benefit I'm using, and I don't even know if I put the area, but I ended up finding somebody that lives like a couple hours away from where I live, who's using the same benefit I'm using through my work, which is going to be a whole nother video. It's just, this benefit seems way too good to be true, and it's not. It's real, and I've had this for a few years and didn't even realize it, and could have done this a few years ago, and it could have made it possible financially for me. But anyways, so I'm not gonna say his name because I don't have permission, but he basically told me about the surgeon he's using, and I guess he had the same bad experience with the first surgeon. Surprise! That I had a bad experience with, and it was the same situation. This coordinator not contacting him back when she was supposed to, and then when he called to follow up, I guess they didn't put him on hold, and they were talking trash about him, and the doctor backed them up when he made a complaint to the doctor. So God led me out of the situation, because, you know, he might have been a good surgeon and he might have done the surgery very well, but you know what? I think I'm learning that there is way more to the surgery than the surgery. I think you need a support team. You need somebody who's going to lead you through the mental part of this, and not just the physical part of this, but the healing, the new journey of nutrition, just, you know, a community really. And that's what I found in this really amazing practice, which I'm not going to name anything yet because I have not actually had the surgery yet, and I want to just, like, you know, I don't want to give any opinions until this whole process is done. But so far from the first experience, this place seems like a dream come true. All they focus on is weight loss surgeries. The doctor works very closely with a nutritionalist, and they even do podcasts together, and they kind of just like coordinate the care for a patient. I think they have like a therapist there as well. I know some insurances require all these things, and it seems like they have everything you need there. They even have their own surgery clinic, and they do almost everything right out of their office, everything you need. They do virtual consultations. I don't have to drive all the way to Orlando, which is like a couple hours, probably 2.5 hours north of me. I don't have to drive all the way there for these consultations. We get to do these virtually. And the best part, well, there's so many best parts. One of my favorite parts is that she has all these informational videos uploaded to YouTube. And I swear I had this notebook with all of these questions that I realized I didn't know when I was about to jump into things with this first surgeon. But I had a notebook of all these questions, and so many of those got crossed off when I was watching her information videos. So many of them, because it's so thorough. But they also, this is another favorite part, they also let you communicate in many different ways. They text. She said, basically in her video, she says, whatever your favorite way to communicate is, she wants to make it easy for her patients. So you can Instagram message them. You can text. They have a text line. I just got a haircut, and it's a lot shorter than it was. So I'm getting used to styling now with this shorter cut. So anyway, but you can text them. You can Instagram message them. They even have a private Facebook page set up with their community of patients you can connect with. I'm already connected with one that I found by chance, by God's chance, online, that led me to this clinic. So they have retreats that they do at a hotel in Orlando where they get together and they just, I guess, fellowship. I don't even know yet. Get to know each other or support each other. This is a unicorn. This is a unicorn. This is not just a surgeon who also does weight loss surgery. This is a community set up just for this. And I'm excited. I have a consultation on Tuesday with this doctor, and I'm really lucky with the benefit I have. I guess there's not a lot, despite what the other practice said, there's not a whole ton of red tape to jump through. I mean, maybe listen, let me give a little grace. we have a little grace because maybe this other practice has some different things in contracts or whatever with the hospital they work, or surgical center or whatever that they, I think it's a hospital, but that they work out of. My Lantern benefit said that some of these requirements they were saying Lantern benefit required was not a Lantern requirement. It might be a requirement with their contract with the other place. So either way, whatever, they were difficult to work with. This new place, I guess they have their own surgery center, like I said. And I guess I can set this up fairly quickly if my work allows. So I'll go. Been talking to my boss, and they're aware of my goals, and I'm pretty sure that I'll have some flexibility with getting this scheduled. So I know that they say recovery time's about a week, or more for some people. I'm sure it's a case by case basis, but they're saying the recovery period's about a week. Some people, you know, when you go online on these support groups, answers are all over the place. Honestly, experiences are on a spectrum from here to here, all over the place. Everybody has a different experience, and the reason is because everybody's different, and we know that everybody's body's different, your metabolism's different, your medical history's different, your surgery's different, your past surgery history is different, what's going on in here already. Like I said, I've had 2 C-sections, hysterectomy. I am a little worried about scarring, scar tissue. I've had during my hysterectomy, I had a hernia repair that I didn't know I had. I have my PCP who suspects a hernia up here. My other one was a ventral, like right here, and my PCP thinks I might have on this side, I think. I might have a hernia up here. There is like a little, very slight bump thing going on, which he said they usually don't repair because it's usually can cause more issues or trying to repair it than it can just living with it. It's mostly a, trying to get used to this bodysuit I bought for under this dress. I feel like it's smushing my boobs. Anyway, you know, some big girl problems I hope I don't have for long. But anyway, so I'm rambling. I know I'm rambling. But bottom line is I'm getting all this different information on the support groups. So I know I'm just gonna have to kind of play it by ear and see what happens in my specific case and take it from there. But I think that a week off of work is a good average. So we will start there, and hopefully I don't need extra time off. Something that kind of inspired me to move forward with this, other than finding out about this Lantern benefit and that it's covered for me 100% free of charge with this benefit, amazing benefit my work offers. They even pay you. To do this. They give you a debit card and put money on there for travel expenses. They will pay for a hotel, depending on how far you're going for your surgeon. This is it used to be called Surgery Plus. It's strictly for pre-planned surgeries. It's just too good to be true. But again, another video for another time. But anyway, this became kind of something that I got excited about and started pursuing this year because my mother-in-law is put together a trip for our family. It was going to be one of the first big trips we've done as a family, and I've been with my husband almost 22 years, but it's the first big trip. And we're going to Hawaii in June, and my mother-in-law and my father-in-law are so amazing, and they're getting an Airbnb there. So my husband's been working extra hard to get some extra income into our family so that we can pay our way there and obviously have some spending money there. And we're going to be there for 14 days in June. So I'm hoping I can get this surgery done. Sorry, blend, ladies, blend it out. I'm like trying to do too many things at once right now. But anyway, so we are going in June, and I'm hoping that I can get this surgery as soon as possible so that I can be kind of in my routine by June. You know what I mean? So I'm like used to my new eating habits, and also hopefully have a little more flexibility by then with what I can eat and stuff like that, and get past any hiccups that might come or anything like that. So I don't know if I like this angle. Hopefully soon it won't matter what angle I'm at. I know I'm gonna cringe when I look back at all these. And I'm sorry, I keep looking in the camera because I'm checking my makeup. I'm like going back and forth between the mirror and the camera. I clearly have a hard time looking at myself right now. So I keep looking away. Obviously I cannot stand this angle. I cannot stand what I'm seeing. And typically I would not post anything like this at all. It's a little embarrassing. I'm really not happy with myself. Oh, I feel like I should cue in some background music now. You know, if I was a good editor for videos, my little mini, what do they call it, violin or whatever. But I'm being real because I want to be real for myself, and I wouldn't ever post anything like this. I am seriously such a prideful person. Any pictures, and I hope there's not a lot of clothes on my floor, but any pictures, go from this angle, guys. I have to like strategically post my photos, you know, angles, everything, right? Okay. That's why I tell my daughters, don't you listen or pay any mind to these Instagram models and all these unrealistic body dreams. I'm not saying everything's unrealistic, you know, people can have amazing bodies, but I'm saying most of the things you see on social media is not reality, okay? Because you can look like this, or I can look like this. Okay, let's be real. Let's be real. I hope I get over this bronchial stuff soon. Preschool teacher, again, always getting sick. Always, always, always. My husband says I need to eat more oranges. I think I just need to sit back a little further from all the sneezing in my face. So, all right, guys. Anyway, I'm feeling cringe enough right now in my teenage daughter's words. So I'm gonna log this off, and no idea where I'm going from here with this video stuff. But I do want to track my progress, and I do want to see kind of where I go in this journey. Share my ups and downs, and kind of just remember where I started. I think that's the most important thing, is to remember where I started, because I know this can be a big mental game. And then body dysmorphia, stuff like that, I think I'm sure it's real. And if I ever find myself regretting this for any reason, I want to remember why I did it. You know what I mean? Little funny fact about body dysmorphia is a lot of times when people who lose weight think that they are still big, even though they're not. And I told my husband the other night, I said, I think I have opposite of body dysmorphia, because in my head, or maybe it is still a body dysmorphia, but mine is like reversed, because I feel like I look better and than I do. I feel like I'm like in shape, curvy, like perky boobs, and feeling myself, and then I'll see a picture or video and be like, who the heck is that girl? I don't know her. You know, so I'm curious to see what's going to happen when I actually do lose weight, if I'm going to have a hard time finding myself as thinner. I don't know, but all I know is I can't keep blaming my kids anymore, because like I said, they're 19 and 15, so I need to figure something out. I hit 40 this year, and I said, this is my decade. This is my decade. I'm going to do self-care, self-love, and I'm going to make some changes. So my husband, I want everybody to note this, okay? The date, I don't even know the date. It's like, you know, you get, when you're a teacher, you get lost between Christmas and New Year's and going back to work and all that stuff. But I think it's like the 2nd or 3rd. I think it's the 3rd. My husband, Greg, promised for my 40th birthday a tummy tuck. I'm not saying this year, but when it's time in my 40s, mark my words, he promised a tummy tuck. So this is the first step to kind of getting into a place where I'd be eligible, I guess. And I will live in South Florida, and it's almost always bathing suit season here, and it's always hot. Well, it's a little cool today, but it's like very fleeting. And my number one goal, and I don't know if this is going to be a reality even after weight loss, just because, you know, I know people, sometimes their body changes aren't, even though you lose weight, I guess sometimes body changes aren't like putting you back in your teenage body. There's loose skin and other things. So it's a roll of the dice, I guess, your genetics and everything else. But my goal, and I hope I can come back in a year or so and cue that music. And I hope I can come back in a year or so and say, hey, I did it. But I want to be able, in this hot weather, instead of wearing these long dresses and leggings and jeans and covering everything up, my goal is to be able to pick a cute pair of shorts, throw it on with a simple tee, tucking it down the middle, and go outside in that heat and not be overheated and not feel like I have to cover things up. Right now, the way I shop for shirts is by what's long enough in the front. I had 2 C-sections. My tummy kind of, I wish I had I don't have shorts on right now, so I'm not gonna pull my dress up, but C-section tummy, 2 emergencies, scars in 2 different lines, 2 different ways. And my stomach has issues. I got stretch marks, that's hereditary. My goal though, and I hope I can get there, is to put on a cute little pair of shorts and a t-shirt, tuck it down the front, or even one of those cute body suits, and not have to dread the heat as much, and just, we'll see. I think my legs might be a little too chunk though. I think even if I lose weight, my legs are still gonna have some issues going on. We're gonna find out. I mean, whatever. So, and then the second one is to feel better and feel good in a bathing suit, be able to put a bathing suit on and not feel like I have to like wear shorts over it. I don't care if I get into a 2-piece. I really don't care. Honestly, I got stretch marks. I like, you know, my stomach has not really seen any UV except for the few times I've used a tanning bed at my gym, which, you know, so, but even a 1-piece, hey, what is it? TA3, cinch it up. Let's see where I'm at later. Bye. Love you. Okay.
I just wanted to share a few before and after pictures at the end of my videos because I looked forward to those when I was binging videos. I don't have any afters yet, so here's some befores. Like I said, it was really hard to take these and look at these. I normally don't show my whole body, but I want to be accurate and have stuff to look back on. So here they are. Can't wait for those afters. Sunset and reset.